Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to another one. The Walking Dead on their YouTube channel released a sneak peek for the season 11 premiere. This scene actually takes place very, very early on in the episode. It's before the credits roll, and it's a really cool scene. This premiere starts off in a very similar way to, I think, season three's premiere. It's one of those premieres again where there's a lot of actions in the beginning. There's no dialogue. You just have this like action sequence or whatever kind of play out, and then the opening credits roll sort of thing. And yeah, so obviously this will contain spoilers in terms of just this scene anyways and what happens. I mean, it's not that spoilery, honestly. Like this scene here, that's why I described it. It doesn't really give or hint at anything that really happens in the episode. It's kind of an unrelated scene. We've seen a lot of images and photographs and stuff released from The Walking Dead over the last few months. A lot of it was with these four characters in this like military base. So now we have more of the full context here with the scene released. And so I want to give my thoughts here on this scene and break down some things here because there's some interesting things here. So obviously, if you are new to the channel and you do want more Walking Dead content like this, just make sure to be a subscriber. My review for episode 1 will be coming out this Sunday. It's going to be a very, very in-depth spoiler review breakdown. I'm going to be starting to work on that today. It's going to take quite a bit to work on it. I'm going to really, really like go in depth, like scene by scene, and just like break everything down a lot. And so it's going to take a lot. I'm really excited to start doing this. In a sense, I kind of like the fact that they release it a week early because it gives me time to actually work on these very in-depth analysis videos, right? And I think that's what I'm going to be calling it. It's like my in-depth trailer breakdown video I did a long time ago. I'm going to do The Walking Dead season 11 episode, whatever the episode would be, in-depth analysis review breakdown sort of thing. And so I'm really excited to get started with that. I don't know how long those videos are going to be. I've watched the episode like 2, 3, 4 times around there now, and I keep finding new stuff, and I just have to keep adding to my notes and stuff. So yeah, we'll see. I'm definitely excited. So stay tuned for that. That's coming out this Sunday, and every single Sunday following the episode's release on cable. So, and also the podcast episode 10 is going to be released this Sunday. We were going to do one for this Sunday because we were late with the other one by a few days. But we just kind of figured, I was like, you know what, there's nothing really to talk about right now. And because we released it so close to yesterday's Sunday, we were just like, you know what, we're just going to wait until this Sunday coming up. Because then we could actually record it. Because I think we're going to be recording our review tonight, or our podcast tonight. She's watched episode 1. So we're going to give our thoughts on episode 1 and all that. And that will come out this Sunday as soon as the episode's over and stuff. So you guys are going to be getting a lot of content from me every Sunday for now on. I mean, like early Sunday mornings, you're going to be getting my episode 2 reviews and stuff when we do the watch parties and all that. And then you're going to, the bigger reviews and the podcast and stuff. I mean, I didn't plan on it being this much content, but I mean, I hope you guys enjoy it. The scene opens up with Maggie, Carol, Rosita, Lydia. There's actually a few others, but they're in this military base and they're trying to get supplies. And that is the big focus here for episode 1. And this kind of sets a narrative for at least the beginning of the season. Is they need to rebuild Alexandria because the crops are dead. Everything in Alexandria is dead. The walls are broken down. I mean, this place is going to be really hard to keep going. They don't have a lot of supplies. They don't have a lot of really anything. They do mention a lot, and you'll see in the episode, like they do mention a lot of like how long they have food supplies for, or food and supplies for, and etc. And it does seem like they are in a very scary situation. And I'm very happy that they actually stressed that they said that, like, you know, we don't have that long. Like, we need to get food and supplies now. And so this is one of the things that you see in the very beginning of episode 1. You see them going to the military base. I believe Carol and Maggie talked about this, or Carol mentioned it in the bonus episodes, that they were going to be going to a military base, or something that Maggie mentioned. And so they're coming to this one. This is the scene that we're getting here. And so this is like the opening scene. This plays right into the opening credits. And then as soon as that plays, and you get something else afterwards. What I really like, what they did in this scene here, and Angela Kang actually talks about it in, it's the episode Insider after the episode is over, is that they made the women go down there because the women are lighter. And that I really like, because I was actually thinking about that like while I was watching the episode. It makes no sense for like Daryl to go down there, right? And then you have Carol pulling Daryl up. Like, what? Obviously that would just make no sense. And imagine if Carol could just do it with ease. And like, I'm not saying Carol's weak or anything like that, but I mean, compared to Daryl, right? And so I like that. Like, I like the fact that they thought about it like that much. You're like, yeah, you know what? It makes more sense. Let the women go down there. And so you have this really cool like women action scene there, right? And you do see them pulling up all of the bags, and then afterwards they're going to be pulling up, like, that's also another thing too. Like, you have Jerry here. Jerry's pulling up the bag here. Like, Could you imagine if Jerry was down there and then you had like Carol or Lydia pulling Jerry up? Like, you know what I mean? It makes no sense. Obviously, you're going to have the lighter people down there, and then the heavier people are going to be pulling them up, right? The heavier, stronger people. Like, that shouldn't be controversial to say. Like, it's obvious, right? The one thing that I really like, and actually I didn't catch it on my first watch through. On my second watch through is when I noticed it, and I noticed a lot of different things. I guess I was just looking away. I was doing the watch party, and it was on my phone, so it's possible that that's why I missed it. But one of the ropes rips, it breaks, and then Daryl actually reaches out and grabs it. He does save it because that would have made a lot of noise anyways, but it doesn't matter because he's cut. I'm guessing he was cut from the rope because it's fresh blood. So somehow he was cut, and it could have been from the rope when it snapped, it whipped his arm or something like that. I'm not entirely sure. Somehow he cut his arm though, and then that drop of blood drips off of his arm onto a walker. And I know some people could say it's cheesy. I don't say it's cheesy. Honestly, from what I'm reading in the comments, most people love this. This is a really cool technique to use here, to follow that blood drop all the way down to the walker and to make that smallest sound. Like, I know realistically, I don't know if it would really do anything, but like, I love it. I really like the fact that this is in the very beginning here. It makes The Walking Dead feel a little different. It actually reminds me of a Spider-Man shot in the very first Spider-Man. There's a scene there anyways with Peter Parker. I think it's in the very beginning of the movie. But yeah, I thought this was really cool. And then the walker wakes up, and then everyone starts to wake up, and that's kind of where the action begins here. You do see Kelly and them running out here, and I mean, this is a really cool scene. Now, I know people are going to be pointing out that makes no sense. Those walkers are sleeping. Sleeping walkers are a thing. In the comic, it's a thing. It's also a thing on the show. I don't remember what season they did it in. They did it in like the mid seasons around there, like season 4, 5, 6 around there. But I know for a fact they did it in season 1. They just don't do it a lot. So I think it's kind of cool that they did this callback to season 1 in that sense. The final season kind of do a zombie callback to season 1. It's really cool. I mean, all the zombies are just sleeping, and then you make a noise or whatever, and then they just wake up. Because we don't really get them a lot. Typically we get walkers that are just roamers. They just kind of walk around and just follow whatever noise, right? Like, it's usually pretty simple. I like the fact that they're sleeping. I like the fact that you have that element of like, don't wake them, you know? That's really cool. And I think this actually proves my theory on, I do think sometimes the walkers should change a little bit. And like, maybe don't make walkers run. I know people have a huge issue. Whenever I say that, people are like, no, you can't do that. But like, maybe, like, what if one walker was running? And maybe it was because of some weird thing that happened to the walker, right? Like, I don't really know how you can make it work, but I think it would be really cool if you actually had different types of walkers. But I know within the realm of The Walking Dead, it is difficult because you want to keep them very simple, which I also do really like as well. But lurkers or sleeping walkers, definitely, they're awesome, and they're actually used quite a bit in the episode. And so I really wonder if we're going to see a lot more of that. And I can't wait to see more from just the walkers in general this season, because this is the last season of the show, the last season where we're going to see walkers on the show. And so I feel like in terms of like Greg Nicotero and his mindset going into the final season, he's probably thinking like, we got to make the best walkers for this final season. And any idea that we want to use for walkers, like, I want to go all out. It's the final season. And I will say it does feel like the final season has a higher budget, because I know the show, that's kind of been an issue over the years, right? Almost its entire existence it's always had a low budget. And it's not like it has a really high budget. At least I don't know. It doesn't seem like it has a very high budget compared to other shows, right? Like, other shows, definitely. I think The Last of Us, that television show, each episode is going to cost $10 million or maybe more than that. I can't remember how much it was. It's a lot of money, though, for each episode. For The Walking Dead, that's not the case, and you do feel it at times, but it does seem like there was an increase in budget for the final season. And I am wondering if it's because, it's the final season. They've made so much over the years. And I'm not even kidding. Like, AMC makes so much money off of The Walking Dead compared to its budget. And so I think that, it makes sense. Increase it a little bit. Make this a lot better in terms of the editing and stuff like that. And you get a really cool shot like this, like following the blood drop all the way down onto the walker. And there's a bunch of other stuff in episode 1, too. And I'm sure later on in this season where we're going to see a lot more of the Commonwealth and all of that, where, the budget definitely will be increased at that point. There's a lot of shots, at least I'm thinking from the comic book, that if they do on the show, they're going to look really amazing in the world. I mean, just the fact that they're shooting digitally now, I think says a lot, right? Like, that is it looks cleaner. There are certain parts in the episode where it's definitely a little too dark, but it's only really in the beginning. And I see people complaining about it a lot, but like it's really nothing. Honestly, it's really nothing. I saw everything fine. It's supposed to be dark. They're in a subway tunnel with like flashlights. You're not going to see a lot. I think the colors of the episode are actually really perfect. Yeah, it's a little dark, but I think it's totally fine. It's nighttime. Like, it looks really good compared to the way it used to look when they were shooting on film. You can actually see what they're doing at night. And so I don't really understand the complaints here, but that's just, that's some people like to complain about nothing. But anyways, I'm going to leave it here. Post your thoughts down below on the scene. I will leave a link down below to the YouTube video where you can actually see the scene. I really recommend checking it out. Again, it's in the opening minutes before the opening credits. Like, the opening scene is like almost 10 minutes long before those credits roll. So this is a part of it. This is like, well, how long is this? Like 2 minutes or something like that. So yeah, anyways, post your thoughts down below. Hope you all enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.